Hi, I'm Aubrey Tibbles, and this is my blog discussion number 3. So this week we did 3 stories, so I'm gonna get right into it. So the first reading, Girls, 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 this story was very interesting. The author starts describing her life as a TV show, and it starts out simple enough, like any kind of TV show following someone's life. But as the author delves more into the plot, the story gets more messed up and things get worse for the characters in her TV show. One interesting note I see in this story is just how, as a reader, you keep remembering that this character is indeed based on the author you're reading from, which adds a certain sadness. The author describes the TV show with a distance from herself, as though she's simply describing a TV plot, but every time you realize she's still talking about herself, you feel a certain pain that's not obvious in the words of the text, but it's still felt. The author then ends her describing of the TV plot and goes into how every girl who had a show about her 20s and how it would rarely be like Friends or any other show that follows young people, because those don't show the deepest and darkest moments of life. A lot of the reason these moments aren't shown in TV is because we as a culture refuse to see women as this person that can be messy and dark and do things that aren't so clean and girly. Girls on HBO is something that the author touches on, and is the first show to break the ice and show the deeper, darker parts of girls in their 20s, and basically just cracked that door into like content about women that maybe wasn't so clean and perfect. Next, we read The Apocalyptic Strain in Popular Culture, The American Nightmare Becomes the American Dream. We start by hearing how doomsday prophecies are all over media in this day and age. They are presented in creative in different ways, but all tackling the same idea, the end of the world. The author questions what happened to the depictions of the American dream in media, as media today shows the American nightmare more than the American dream. But then the author goes over the characteristics of the American dream and how truly unattainable some of the standards are. As more people fail to achieve an American dream, it becomes less enchanting, and they are instead enthralled with the what-if scenarios of post-apocalyptic end-of-the-world plots in media. All the facets of the American dream also have their downsides, each of which the author touches on, and it becomes increasingly clear that the American dream is a nightmare in many of its own ways. Lastly, we had Netflix and the future of television. The author starts by describing the start of Netflix and how it eventually changed into the streaming giant it is today. However, in 2000, Netflix proposed an alliance with Blockbuster, which for those of you who don't know, is virtually extinct aside from one final video store somewhere in Washington, only surviving by the will of its own town people who keep it alive. In the proposal, Netflix would sell 49% of itself and become Blockbuster's online rental store. Blockbuster obviously said no, and it was in a time where digital media was not the looming giant taking over media that it is today, and companies like Blockbuster weren't afraid. No one saw what was to come. Netflix grew to streaming and got larger and larger, producing original content and becoming a huge player in the digital media world. The reading goes on to explain how much Netflix is changing how we watch media. It's eliminated commercials, running solely on its cost per month to the viewer, and it has allowed us to access our media in a variety of different devices in just about any location we want, meaning that we can take our media anywhere we want and we don't have to watch it within our home like we do cable. Netflix soon is going to hurt general TV and cable. It has so many programs and so much content that the need for a cable subscription littered with commercials is hardly even competition. Since Netflix's rise, we've seen many other streaming services arise and seen major success from many of them. Some of them taking the route of making original content just like Netflix did. Ultimately, we have seen a general switch to streaming that is taking over the way we watch TVs, movies, and more. That's my third vlog. Thank you for watching.